Welcome to the Postgame Show presented by the Maroon Club. Every gift matters every year. Join the Maroon Club today. And by Coca-Cola. Experience the Coke side of life. John Leone is down on the field with head coach Frank Tavani.
Yes, Gary, thank you very much. And, Coach, you know, all year long you've been so gracious under tough circumstances. I have to tell you, all year long, this has got to be one of the feistiest performances I've seen from your group. You've been telling us all year long there's a lot of fight left in these kids, and they showed it today.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and that's been the one, satisfying fact, being involved with this group. They haven't changed one bit. They come out to practice every day, work hard. We got a great attitude. They're pumped up before the game, during the game. They fight like heck, but we got some key people back. But when Tanner went down, certainly showed itself. We weren't able to do a whole lot. Credit, obviously, to Colgate, and they got control of their own destiny and control of the championship of the league right now.
Well, he's only a freshman, so that bodes well for the future. I said before the game, these last two games, you've got senior day here, and then, of course, in 2 weeks, you got number 151. So part one is on the downside. What do you do with it? Doesn't take a whole lot to get these guys up for Lehigh for sure.
Well, we're going to take some recovery. We're not going to practice until Wednesday afternoon, and that'll just be with part of the staff. I send the staff be leaving on the road recruiting tomorrow afternoon. We've got them scheduled all different places. Myself and McNeil Parker stand behind, do some work. But on Wednesday night we'll practice. So they'll get Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. 3 good days. We'll come back and work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning to get ready. I can guarantee you won't waste a minute trying to do everything we can to win that football game.
You know, Coach Tanner Kern, when he went down, you alluded to it. I had a chance to talk to Matt Bailey, and he said we can all see the difference he makes at game time, but he pointed out the difference during the week. Having the ability to practice with your group that carries over. Is there any chance? I know he's going to have some x-rays looked at. Is there a chance in 2 weeks?
It'll be it'll be hard, but with him taking this week off and then probably won't be able to practice much, because again, it's the same injury he keeps redoing, and obviously he's got that ligament's damaged. You can only tape it up so much. So if I know Tanner, he'll be playing in that last game.
Last thing, Coach, on the last drive when you're down 2, you're in position. It's been the story all year long. 3rd and long, you got him where you want him, and you give up the big play. What did you see on those 2 possessions?
Well, I thought we had another route. You throw the ball late like that into the corner, and the guy's going to pick it off. So again, it's just pressing. Everybody trying to do something, make a play. And again, when we couldn't run the ball, obviously that caused all kind of problems as usual. But I credit Colgate and congratulate Dan Hunt and his staff. And we've got to just go back to work and try to win that last game.
And I know you will, Coach. And we all look forward to number 151 over at Goodman. Coach, thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Gary, Michael, back to you guys.
All right, John, another job well done by John Leone down on the sidelines. It's time for the game highlights. So here's Mike Joseph.
Well, we'll take you through those highlights, and Lafayette came out really like a house of fire like they did last week, and started with a caused fumble by Brandon Bryant. Lafayette set up in the red zone. 3 plays later, you see Drew Reed. He's going to hit Crawford in the back of the end zone right there with a beautiful effort from the senior Darryl Crawford, who played a very nice game today. That's a touchdown. Lafayette takes that 7-0 lead. And then Colgate comes back, but Lafayette on 4th down stops the Colgate Raiders. A great play again by another senior there, Smalley. Lafayette had a chance to score on a flea flicker, a ball overthrown. They had to settle for the field goal, and a 10-0 lead right there. Again, Colgate comes back. They're going to score a touchdown right here with a 13-play drive. You see Russell, who was big all day long, over 100 yards, takes it into the end zone. And then the throw right here for a first down, Metaluna, who was very good breaking tackles. He's a big, strong receiver. Did a great job against Fordham last week. He's going to get this down into the red zone, and then Russell again for his 2nd touchdown. So now at this point, 14-13. Drew Reed's going to throw an interception on, again, some miscommunication maybe on the routes there. It caused a set up a field goal. Lafayette blocks that field goal. Their first block of the year. Their special teams today were exceptional. Clayton Rush is going to jump on that one. Lafayette with some momentum. They didn't do anything with the opening kickoff of the second half. And you can see Jake Melville again, just the inability to keep him in the box. This is after a wheel route up the sideline, and then you see the big tight end, John Quazza, sets them up in the red zone again. down the field, and then a 16-yard run right here by the elusive Jake Melville, one of the best running quarterbacks in the Patriot League, is going to extend that lead. Drew Reed comes back. He's going to get Lafayette down into a position after a first down catch here. That 15-yard penalty disqualified Kenyon Washington from the game. It sets up another field goal, a highlight for Lafayette today. Bissell with 4 field goals as a freshman. In that fourth quarter, again, Lafayette trying to move the football down the field. They get a nice completion to Evangelist there. It sets up the 4th field goal by Bissell. That cut the lead to 21-19. And then big plays here. 3rd down and 8, a first down to Quazza. And then the escapability of Melville out the backside. Lafayette not in position to keep him in the box. A 28-yard run gets it down in the red zone. A few plays later, you're going to see Russell go in for his 3rd touchdown. That extends the lead with the extra point to a 9-point game, and Lafayette at that point had to throw the football. And then, like Frank alluded to, you throw it late into the outside, it's going to be picked off. TJ McCullum, give him a lot of credit. He was beat early in the first quarter by a touchdown. He comes back and makes a big play for Colgate to seal this football game. Just too many mistakes by Lafayette in key situations, although you can see when they get players back, Gary, they are a formidable foe.
Well, you and I will take a football week off. You and I will be back along with John Leone for basketball a week from tomorrow. That's it from up in the booth. Let's go to Matt, Mo, and Phil to finish this one out.
Quick. All right, back to Fisher Stadium. We begin the post-game show, or at least continue on with our segment. Down on the field with our All-Americans, Phil Ing and Maurice Bennett. Again, I'm Matt Province, and your final score 28-19 today. Really entertaining game, and let's start on the defensive side, because there for a while Lafayette had a chance. Obviously within one score, they have a 3rd and 11 trying to hold down Jake Melville on the offense. What happened to allow the big play for a first down and ultimately the game-stealing touchdown?
I mean, at the end of the day, we talked about this a little bit at halftime. It's really hard to play the quarterback read option type play in college football unless you have superior athletes. That's why it doesn't work in the NFL, but it does work in college football. So, I mean, it's just a tough game for Lafayette today. They were competitive. They were in it. But at the end of the day, you just got to get off the field on 3rd down. Hats off to those guys. They made a couple of great plays with the one diving catch there, you know. So it's just an overall tough game. But at least we came out here today and we competed the entire, 60 minutes.
Yeah, certainly a decent game. Now, you're the wide receiver, so I'm not going to try to diminish the skill position impact on a game. We all know that you guys can break them and you guys can make them. But an offensive line, and when you can't run the football, and Lafayette today held to not even 60 yards rushing the football. Meanwhile, you saw 191 plus into that last drive for Colgate. How does that affect what Drew Reed can do and what he can see on the field when they're not able to run the football?
Well, it definitely affects him, obviously. I mean, and what Frank Tavani wanted to do, what he said 2 weeks ago, is he wanted to pound the ball, and that's what you want to do. You want to pound the ball. You want to get more guys in the box. You want to get the linebackers, the D-backs thinking about run, and then you can run some play action. And so when you can't run the ball, and then you don't really have any big play receivers, you got Mrazek out, hurt, you don't have much option. And so that's why I think you saw him take a couple of chances. He had that interception late in the game, trying to throw downfield. He's trying to make a play. He just doesn't have that many options available to him.
I'll tell you one thing I did like, too. You look at the sophomore Dylan Wadsworth, a big target at the tight end, big number 89, good number for a tight end, Mark Bavaro. But again, I think there's something there maybe to work for in the future. Again, just a sophomore. Now, what's left here? Well, we know that Colgate now is a step closer with a couple of games remaining, both at home in Hamilton, to try to win, maybe even sweep the conference and win the Patriot League in 2015. And now for Lafayette, at 1-9, they have a chance to kind of review film and have 2 weeks to get ready and get healthy for the big game against Lehigh. That game, the 151st installment of the rivalry. You've both played in it. Is this kind of the Super Bowl? And what do you do to be excited to try to make sure you give it your all in 2 weeks?
I got to tell you, I mean, obviously I played in 4 Lafayette-Lehigh football games. I don't think I've ever had 2 weeks to prepare for Lehigh. I mean, so that's a definite advantage going into the game. I mean, we talked about injuries and getting guys healthy. You have 2 weeks to do that, 2 weeks to review the film. And then, hey, man, it's Lafayette-Lehigh. Obviously, they're going to be a little upset about the way, based on the way we treated them last year for game number 150. But it's always a really good matchup. These guys will be focused. They'll be ready to go.
And Phil, a reflection, because obviously as well, you were on the field playing against that other team that wears brown for their colors. Is this a motivating factor? I mean, the seniors are done playing at Fisher Stadium, but this season's far from over.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this over the last couple of years, and it's always, there's 3 seasons within your season. There's your overall season, there's your Patriot League, and then there's the Lafayette Lehigh game. So at least you have that to go back on. And if I'm not incorrect, I think if Lehigh plays Colgate next week, if they beat them, again, we're talking about the spoiler position for us. So that could be a bigger game than we're thinking about.
And honestly, it's one thing to spoil any team's hopes and aspirations to win a league title, but when the other team's Lehigh, I mean, if that's not incentive to get up and give it your all, obviously, then nothing is going to work motivationally. But hey, look, they were a chance to play spoiler today. We all agree that the game was well played in terms of closeness, and they were in it to the end. So, there's your big positive today as Lafayette does fall in this final home game of 2015 with that one game remaining in a couple of weeks. That's our coverage here for you on the post-game show. Now, remember, the next broadcast is in 2 weeks. Gary, Mike, John, and of course these 2 guys, I will not be there, unfortunately, but we'll have all the coverage for the 12:30 kickoff from Goodman Stadium on the campus of Lehigh with the final final game period of the 2015 season. But until then, we do want to thank everybody involved with today's broadcast, all the camera guys, everybody in the truck, and of course our producer, Rick Yeho, for doing a fine job getting this broadcast to you live. Until, well, I guess next year for me, and until 2 weeks from now for these 2 guys, Maurice Bennett filling, Matt Province saying so long a final time from Fisher Stadium here on the campus of Lafayette College. Colgate remains perfect in the Patriot, winning 28-19. Until later, roll Pards.